Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
Seth from ShrinkPastor.com.
Together, the three of us, we are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome to the Cold Shop. Boy is doing some surgery on a brand new Marcus pipe. What the heck is a Marcus? The Mark Twain pipe is a Dublin shape. The only one I have that's even close to it is this one that I got from Dodif. And Dodif actually started this volcano pipe from a Mark Twain, which is that shape. And Missouri Meerschaum came to market with this kind of miniature Dublin that they call the Marcus, kind of a tip of the hat to Mark Twain. Marcus, get it?
Marcus Twain?
Marcus Twain. But I think we hit on Marky Mark.
Mark, yeah.
The Marky Mark Twain. But I have two tobaccos here, two tins, and I'm going to let Boyd decide, based on whichever hand you say. I'm switching them around behind me. Which one do we want?
The left hand.
The left hand will be Drew Estates.
Oh, I meant the right hand.
Will be the Missouri Meerschaum Company Limited Independence Day 2015. This limited edition pipe tobacco is made of sweet, zesty Virginias, mellow Burleys, and a soft and silky black Cavendish, accented by the bright, fresh flavors of summertime. They've added some flavors of summertime. Some grass clippings is what that means. This blend is optimized for enjoyment in a Missouri Meerschaum corncob pipe, but it's great in any pipe. A tribute to American independence. This was limited to 1,776 tins. Get them while you can. We probably should have saved that.
Can't get them anymore.
We did. We saved it to this exact moment where we could share it with you. Just got back from Dallas. Speaking of Dodif, I got to have dinner with Dodif and his bride. That was a lot of fun. I got another Dodif pipe.
Nice, I saw pictures of that.
Seriously excited about that pipe. It's a Cavalier, which is a Cavalier style pipe. Beautiful pipe. Had some great pizza.
You posted that on what, Instagram?
With them on Instagram.
If you're not following on Instagram, you should be.
Mm-hmm.
That's at Aristocob.
So while down in Dallas, I got to have some great barbecue. Went to Rudy's Barbecue. There's Rudy's, and there's a bunch of them throughout Texas. Rudy's is a bit of a chain, and it's a barbecue restaurant that's attached to a convenience store, or a convenience store with a barbecue restaurant attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's just good. It's just plain good. It's, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a solid 7 or 8.
Okay.
And every single time you go, though, you get that consistent 7 or 8, so I have no problems with it. I've had better, but boy, have I had worse.
Yeah. Remember that barbecue place we went to that pretty sure it was cooked in a crock pot and tastes like tuna fish?
Yeah. Where was that?
That's near my work. That's good tobacco.
I'm liking it so far.
Really should have saved this.
They're worth it. Mm-hmm. I've never been to Austin. At least as an adult, I've never been to Austin. And it's kind of a funky little town.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Huge.
Very artsy.
In the music scene and artsy in general.
Did you go to the draft house?
Well, I went to a draft house. It was called the Something Tap Room, which was where I met with Dodif and his bride, and we had pizza. I really enjoyed those guys. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out with me, making time for me. I was in Houston. I was in Austin. I keep saying Houston. I was in Austin. What else can I say about it? I mean, what I didn't expect it to be so hilly. Everywhere else I've been in Texas is very flat.
Yeah.
And it was very hilly. And I set my GPS to avoid highways and to avoid toll roads. And there was also some construction going on that my GPS, Waze was avoiding. Man, it took me some very convoluted ways. It's like I had it set for convoluted.
Yeah. Like you wanted to avoid toll roads, highways, and construction.
Correct.
Weird. Weird how it did exactly what you wanted it to.
It did.
That's funny you were there. I go to San Antonio this weekend.
I'm actually in Torrance, California right now. My employer has a distribution center and offices out there. We're in the process of doing a huge reconstruction. They're adding about 50% to our corporate headquarters here in North Carolina. And then they're shifting bodies everywhere. And I had to give up my training room, the learning center,
Right.
while all that's going on. And I've got classes scheduled. I've got people that need to have some knowledge so they can be helpful to their customers.
And your learning center right now is offices, right?
It's not offices, but basically the offices that were there have kind of taken over all the conference rooms. So they needed a multi-purpose room. And so I moved everything out of there. It's just completely empty, which is bizarre.
Right.
And but I have to have a place to do training. Well, we have this space out in Torrance in the second story of our offices that are undeveloped out there. And so I'm taking over and doing some product training out there. Hands-on product training, you got to be able to, we're installing hardware, we're installing LED lighting and all that. And
that is a nightmare to try to do on the road in a hotel.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done it.
Yeah.
I just posted a video on the reintroduction/introduction of the new Cobb Miracle Mud. I don't know what you know about that, but
I know that it is definitely not for pipes.
Definitely not pipe mud.
However, if you need to mud up the false bottom in some tube, it's great for
Yes.
It's a good tube mud.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, I found this plastic
Tube.
tube.
We'll call it. Yeah.
It's not a pipe. Put a wood plug in the bottom of it, and then, I guess you watched the video.
Watch the video. Of course I did.
That was an absolute fail. That was horrible. I shot another video right after that I'd love to share with you, but I can't yet. And I'll probably refilm that video because by that point I was just beside myself because I screwed that demo up royally.
Twice.
And what's worse than that, I wasn't prepared with a backup.
Right.
Usually I like to have a plan B. My shop is a mile away from my home, and I was not prepared for any of that, and it was a screw up. Oh, I'd love to talk with you about what's on that other video. That picture I showed you today, the one that embarrasses you. That's
doesn't embarrass me. It should embarrass you. I'm not embarrassed by it.
Oh, Jandy and I are being a little bit silly in a picture that you will be seeing soon, and you'll see it when I make this announcement soon, that I'm really excited about, and you will be too. But I showed this picture to Seth, and he's like, does Mom know about this? Because it looked like I photoshopped her in. Like he said, Mom, it looks like he found the worst picture of you he could find and photoshopped it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, no.
That looks like a great way to get yourself into trouble.
Said, no, she posed for this. She posed for this. You'll see what I'm talking about very, very soon.
She really loves you, and I don't know why sometimes.
She does.
I was in Boston this past weekend. Had a lobster roll.
Lobster. How was your lobster?
It was really good. I think it was the first lobster roll I've ever had.
Really?
That I ever remember having. Yeah.
So
it was really good.
Did you expect mayonnaise?
Yeah, I have. I'm familiar with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was recommending the No Name to you, is because the No Name is right out there. It used to be out on the Fisherman's Pier, and part of why this place even existed was they would take the leftover fish after the ships would sell their inventory. Then what was left in their hold, they would basically give to the No Name restaurant in exchange for them preparing food for their crew. So they would give them 2 to 3 to 4, who knows how many times what their crew would possibly eat.
Right.
And that gave them inventory then to sell. And you'd go there, I'd go there, and you could get like the broiled or fried seafood platter. And it would be a paper plate this big and mounded this big. So it was like a baked Alaska, just this huge mound of seafood. And you had no idea what was in there. You just start eating, and here's some calamari, and this next piece is a piece of fish, and then, where did that cauliflower come from?
Right.
It's so good.
Right, almost like a stew that's changes with what they have on inventory.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see that Taps sent out a postcard?
I did. Good for them.
Triangle
Good for them.
Area Pipe Smokers. It's a club, mostly of old dudes. Just gotta call it straight.
And usually when we have talked about it in the past, it has been how disappointed we have been that they
No advance warning.
No advance warning. Very little advance warning. They sent something out. The last few years, we've seen the attendance decline. Partly because it has just been in terrible, terrible locations where you can't smoke. You can't smoke close to where the actual show is. It's a
Which
pretty
certainly
small
doesn't
show.
certainly doesn't help the vendors.
Right.
Right? Because if you're there to meet, greet, smoke, and you're being held away from the vendors.
Yeah, I mean last year it was in a very small. The smoking area was inside the entryway, and there were some picnic tables, and that was it. And it has been this last year was uncharacteristically cold, so that didn't help either. But that's been one of the shows that we said with a little bit more work they could do a good job of reaching a younger crowd. They're right there in a college town.
There you go. There you go.
So a lot of opportunity.
I'm glad they sent out a postcard. But at the same time, I'm looking at the postcard and laughing and thinking, it's a postcard.
Right.
Haven't seen anything on social media. Now, maybe it's me. Maybe there's a Facebook page or something I should be a part of that I'm not.
Well, and we're not local.
And we're not,
So we're
members,
not members
of the club.
And it is a club meeting.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is the only that we know of area pipe show. And so there's a large opportunity for them reaching other people that they don't capitalize on.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Thank you for your time. We do appreciate you joining us here at the Markwood Men's Breakfast Club.
Hopefully we will be able to see some of you soon at some of these shows, if our schedules allow it.
Yeah,
So.
that'd be great. All right, make it a great week. We'll see you again next week. And
tobacco, I really enjoyed it.
That was good.
I might smoke this again next week.
Maybe next week.
Yeah.
See you then.
All right. See ya.